everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Before I begin any presentation, any talk, any gathering, there's something I have to do. It's kind of a ritual for me. It's about honoring my ancestors. I have to recognize that I may be standing here by myself in this space, but I'm not standing here alone. I believe that my ancestors are standing here with me. And my ancestors come in all colors, whatever you call humanity, so-called yellow, black, white, red, and brown. There were many that went before us, that fought and died for peace, unity, and justice, that paved the way so that we could actually be here right now. Baha'u'llah teaches us that this is called the concourse on high, that they're all around us, poised and ready to assist us. I also believe in honoring the land, because I do this work throughout the United States. And so I always believe in honoring land. This very space where I'm standing, where you're sitting, this is the United States, the USA. I believe in honoring that. But before this was the United States, this very space right here, where you're sitting, where I'm standing, this was Mexico. Right here was Mexico. And before this was Mexico, this very space right here, where you're sitting, where I'm standing, this is the land of indigenous people. Taramura, Seris, Yaqui, Dene, Hopi, Mexica, Apache, Algonquin, Taino, Seminole. I'd like you to consider that the native populations of these lands called the United States was 100% of the population of these lands. So these 10 fingers can represent 100%. 10 fingers, 10% for each finger, right? 10%. Well, they were 100%, okay? Now the native population is considered less than 2% of the population of these lands. If you're not familiar with that concept, that is referred to as genocide. So that's a pretty heavy thing to start off with, you know. But the reason why I bring that up is I do a lot of work in schools, community organizations related to bullying and violence prevention, trying to get people just to play nice, not to kill each other of various backgrounds. And, you know, I've been telling youth, junior youth, and children, I need to apologize to you because we, the adults, have given you a world that's in pain. We've given you a world with heaping disparities, huge gaps. And the reason why this world needs so much work is because we, the adults, we didn't do the work. We ducked our heads in the sand. At the end of the Pledge of Allegiance, it says, "Injustice for all." And why don't we have injustice for all? It's because we were distracted with just us instead of justice. We operated on some illusion of inclusion. We lived some tolerance paradigm. We didn't clean up the residue of colonization. And we have handed the world to this next generation that's a mess. The reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. Today in Colorado, 8 miles from Columbine High School, a young man shot another kid, then he killed himself with a rifle. It's becoming just a regular thing to hear about these school shootings. All these conversations about bullying in schools. But you know what? I think at a karmic level, until we address the bullying that built our nation, our children are doomed to deal with bullying at interpersonal levels. Until we deal with the bullying at institutional and systemic levels, spiritual levels, our children are doomed to deal with it at interpersonal, relational, small, micro levels. So I just want us to reflect on that. I'm looking around this room, and there's a lot of folks in here, a lot of adults, you know. There's some youth and junior youth. There's some little people over there. And they deserve a better world. They deserve a much better space. And we got to step up. We have to step up our game. And I think a lot of times the way we're trying to step up our game is, you know, we want to protest. You know, if we elect this person or that person. Or maybe if we just do this thing